A one, a two, a one, two, three, go. We have a lot of people who follow us that, we get a lot of DMs of people that's like, hey, we're inspired by, Taryn and Quentin's journey. They're just inspired by, how we've came from the house and came from the garage to, growing and showing every step of the way. So. This is a story of just more inspiration. If you're feeling down, if you're feeling like you're about to give up, well, I need you to listen to the story. Stay tuned. We are Urban Eden, and Urban Eden is a natural products company that specializes in bar soaps. We started off in January 2016. Unofficially, we started a little bit before that. Taryn was in the kitchen just looking for a craft to do, and she came across soap making, and we have went through a lot over the past few years. Where we are today, currently, what month is it? It's February 2021. We just got finished a incredible booming year where we 10x'd our 2019 numbers, and now current day I think we are at 30 employees. We got a retail location, we have a warehouse location where we manufacture and everything. So we have grown tremendously since our 2016 inception.
Tyler. What's going on, Urban Eden fam? It's your boy Tyler. We back there making some soap, oatmeal and honey. And, I just wanted to say that 2021 gonna be a great year for the company, Urban Eden.
So while I was in Destin, Quentin was still back at home. I received a phone call from somebody who had already used our soaps, our activated charcoal soap, one of our most popular soaps. Yes.
2016. Okay.
This was the end of 2015.
No, this is the end of 2016. Because the
order was in 2017.
The order was in 2017.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So then, this was the end of 2016. Then it was going into, we typically went down there in November, December time. And so, yes, I got a phone call from a lady who has tried our soaps and was really interested in the activated charcoal soap in particular. And she was like, so I work for a company called Onyx Beauty Box, and it's a subscription. That's always a tongue twister, but it's a subscription box, and they service 4,000 customers. So I was like, I service 4,000 customers. They was like, yes, and we want to put the activated charcoal bar in each one of the subscription boxes. So I was like, so you want 4,000 of the soap bars to go in the subscription boxes? 4,000. Okay, all right. And so I think when I heard that, I was so excited. I'm gonna blame it on that I was super excited by hearing that I thought that when she was asking how when they were saying that they were gonna pay for the soaps, that she was saying that they were gonna pay retail price. I think I wasn't really paying attention. So I'm super excited thinking that they're about to pay retail price for 4,000 soaps. I can't wait to tell Quentin about this. And so then I called him as soon as we get off the phone, and I was like, yes, they want to buy 4,000 soaps and at retail price. And he was like, no. He was like, no, that just doesn't sound right at all.
Immediately I knew that I was like, there is nobody that's going to buy that. I'm not going to say nobody, but I just knew that one company wasn't going to buy 4,000 bar soaps at retail price. And I was doing the numbers in my head. I was like, dang.
That was a real, that was going to be a real come up.
That was going to be a nice
That was going to be a nice come up. I know. So I really had thought we had stumbled across the opportunity of a lifetime. And it still was, just not in that very aspect there in particular.
Got the regular bars today.
I didn't know per se how I was going to make 4,000 bars of soap, because that wasn't something that we had done. I was really only using 7 of our regular wooden soap molds that we have currently. So I wasn't making that much soap on a regular just production scale in general. But I knew that it was something that I still wanted to accept because I had looked up the company, Onyx Beauty Box, and I saw that they had a big following on Instagram, and that they were a pretty legit company. So I just saw it as like that opportunity that even though I didn't know exactly how I was going to meet the challenge, it was a challenge that I wanted to take on. So that was something that I was excited to do. I just knew we were going to do it regardless.
Oh, no. We wasn't going to say no. Like, we were going to do it. I mean, we had no other choice. I think around the time, because remember, after you had a conversation with them, it was a big old gap. Yeah. We was like, because we hadn't heard nothing from them.
Yeah, we just didn't hear anything.
We didn't hear nothing from them. We were just like, it was just like a limbo. And we knew that they wanted us to be in there like their April box. But we didn't hear nothing from them for a minute. It wasn't until we was at the farmer's market. They gave you the call, you answered. And they was like, yo, basically, can you get this done? And like, because I think they waited so long since that initial call. And they was like, you got like 4 weeks. Can y'all do it in 4 weeks? And you was just like, yeah, like we weren't gonna say no to that.
Well, technically, we had like 6 weeks.
Okay, like 6 weeks, yeah. Yeah, like 6 weeks.
From start to finish, from the time. And we pretty much got started like ASAP, finding just our gear started grinding ASAP. Like, how are we gonna get this done? The job that I had got, and actually was really kind of like a dream job too. Like, I was about to start working at an herb shop.
Oh, at an herb shop.
Yeah, and I was really excited about that. I had really wanted to work at an herb shop. And Quinn was like, as soon as we got when we got that job, he was like, I mean, we have 6 weeks. This is gonna take like all of our time. Like, you're not gonna have time to even just to even take up a job. And I was like kind of bummed. I was like, dang, now I gotta let this lady know. Like, after I had like pretty much kind of persuaded her to give me this job, I was like, now I gotta let her know that I can't work here anymore. And so I did that, and I never looked back. That was my like last time. That was my last attempt at trying to get a job in the whole business.
That's 2017.
Yeah, that was like in 2017. Yeah, times were really hard, but we made it through.
Facebook, late night right now, still up. We're up still making soap, so just wanted to show you guys as we're making this soap. You can actually hear it. She's back there. Making the soap now. At the time when they did give us the call and they said that they was ready for the deal, they paid us 50% up front. So they paid us $2,000 up front.
Right then and there, like as soon as we got off the phone.
But they sent it to the wrong PayPal name. I'll never forget that. Remember that? Yeah. They sent it to the wrong PayPal name. And like, so it happened for messed up for a little bit of days. Because we just needed that 50% up front so that we could purchase the materials that we needed.
Purchase the material, and we had to make more molds too.
And to be honest with you, it could have been a way more profitable deal if we knew what we know now.
Yeah.
As far as like the type of vendors that we're using, the materials. But at that time, we didn't know anything. Like, we pretty much needed all of that $2,000 so that we could produce this thing.
And we were still in our beginning stages.
Yeah,
so
it was early. So really, us saying yes to this deal was more of us just like just jumping out there, like
giving it a try.
Just giving it a try. We knew the opportunity of getting exposed to 4,000 people. I wasn't really turned off by the fact that they were going to pay $1. I just knew that this was a good opportunity.
It was a good opportunity.
I was like, okay, even though this is way below our cost, this is a good opportunity to do. And then too, like, I think that $220 cost of a bar was a lot of our labor. Mm-hmm. So basically, I'm calculating it like we just need the materials.
But the labor was ridiculous.
And the labor is gonna be free. We gonna have free labor. It's gonna be
that
me,
was some ridiculous. Anybody
Ishmael,
that would help.
Like, everybody was helping. So,
15-year-old sister is out of school next week, so
yeah,
we're getting started next week.
Our siblings are gonna help us, and just other friends are gonna help us to fulfill this. I mean, this is just part of. This is just a part of it. We need
help making the soap. We need help wrapping the soap.
Yeah, wrapping the soap is gonna be a killer, because making soap is actually so easy. It's like baking cake. Honestly, you're just mixing oil and lye, and all you're doing is just pouring them into the molds, and the molds do the job.
Like master batch.
Yeah, just master batching them, and then just doing it like that.
We're at Home Depot because we're going to be making, or are going to attempt, no, we're going to make soap molds.
Taste it over it.
So yeah, we got to figure out how to make a soap mold, because we have to make 4,000 soaps and we need a lot more mold. But I'm excited nonetheless. It's a challenge. It should be cool making soap molds.
Should be really
One of our first things that we got into doing was we had to create the molds pretty much. We had to create the molds, and we had to create a schedule to know how we were going to get that amount done.
Nonetheless, it's a challenge. It should be fun making soap molds. Should be really good. At Home Depot, they actually cut the wood for you, so that's a plus. That saves some of the labor. We just got to put it together. Hey, we're at Home Depot. I have a
we were only producing like 100 bars at a time.
Yep.
We were only producing like 100 bars at a time.
So we knew we needed to create more molds.
We knew we needed at least to do like
more soap.
We needed more molds, and we knew that molds cost like $20 a mold from the person that we were getting from.
We did not have that kind of money.
And we didn't have that, and I think we needed like a grand total of 30 molds, and we didn't have that money. So that's when our mentor Craig, that's when he came to the rescue and was like, yo, like, we can make the molds. And I was like, we can make the molds? Got a little bit left over?
Anything else I can do for you, bro?
Nah, that's it right there.
Get you some sandpaper?
Yeah, I'm gonna get you some sandpaper right now. What was those little, was that like a little nail gun?
Yeah, come on. Let me show you. All right. Now, I think if you get a nail gun, I think it'll be better.
A little nail gun?
Yeah, just to shoot.
Just to shoot them in there, yeah. I ain't
Because if you try to...
We went to Home Depot. We pretty much got all of the wood cut by them. And then we went to Craig's house, and he just helped us to nail and
he showed us how to nail them all together.
Nail the molds all together.
Like,
make it real simple.
Pretty much a simple
They're
box.
like boxes. Yeah, they're like boxes.
And when we pretty much stayed there well into midnight, working on those boxes,
all
getting
night.
that figured out.
Yeah.
And that was a great help. So from there, we were able to have all these molds. Now, mind you, we weren't like carpenters. We're not like super official. So some of the boxes were like a little bit like off, but we still made them work. And we actually still have a lot of those molds to this day.
I got my drill right here. Actually, we're about to go meet up with Craig, man. He's about to help us make these. So that's what we're doing. I mean, we got a, this is the mold that we use right now. We bought this mold right here for $20 right here, but we're about to actually just construct the same thing. And it's actually pretty easy. I mean, if you look at it, all they did was just glue it together. It's nothing but a box. And this is what we make our, it's just nothing but a box, pretty much. And I looked at it and I was like, I can make this. We pretty much learned how to scale our production.
How to scale it up.
We scaled our production from 100 bars a session, we called it a session, to 500 bars in a session. So like, you gotta think like, if we didn't take a deal like this, we probably wouldn't be able to learn how to scale your production from 100 bars to 500 bars, like literally overnight. So that's actually one of the benefits of this deal, is that it pushed us to the limit of, hey, you need to learn this. Overnight, we went from 100 to 500 bars.
I think that was one of the greatest benefits.
I think that is one of the greatest benefits. It was a learning lesson. Because I remember the first night when we did production, so we tried to master batch.
Yeah, that didn't turn out right. So we tried to just do like one, like how we master batch now. We tried to do that back then, but our stick blender too that we were using at that time was just not equipped to deal with a master batch.
We had them little stick blenders, like the ones in the kitchen, not the one like we got now. I don't know if y'all seen this picture of Tam.
Our big
she got these big old stick blenders on her shoulders or whatever. You ain't had
they were the small kitchen stick blender, so it really didn't go all the way to the bottom and be able to mix it all really well. So we had a little oopsie with that. But from there, we just pretty much just started making the batches single-handedly. But we had like a really efficient system. But it was literally a matter of waking up for the next 4 to 5 weeks. It was literally a matter of waking up, going and making soap, spending all day doing that, cutting. It's really our same process today. Waking up, cutting our soaps from the day before, making more soap. So spending all day doing this, then going to bed super late at night, and then waking up the next morning and cutting soap, and then making soap again. This was literally the process every single day.
Probably about 2 weeks.
For the next couple of weeks.
Well, I'm talking about for the production part.
For the production.
When we didn't get to the part when we're wrapping this up, because the production part, because Bevelin. Oh,
yes.
We won't get into that part, but we will get into that part. But the production part, like she said, that was like probably over the next 2 weeks, because if you do the math, 4,000 bars, and we did 5,000 each time. So you would probably need like 8 days. And just kind of working that out within, I think it took us 2 weeks to produce that 8 days.
And it was crunch time, so that's why we were getting up in the morning, going to sleep at night. Yeah. And we had a lot of friends and family just coming out and helping us. Anybody who could spare any time, they were coming out helping us.
Tyree helped a lot.
Mix. It was a lot of people. It was a lot of people.
I'm talking about for the production.
I know it was a lot of people. We had a lot of friends and family that
helped.
It was
a
lot of friends and family that came out and helped. Anybody that had like spare time, people that were close to us around that time, they were coming out. They were coming out helping with the production, and they were also coming out helping us wrapping soaps and beveling. Like we said, beveling was tedious.
What I was speaking about was for particular the production side when we was making the soaps. It was just me, you, and Tyree. Now everybody else came once we needed to process them and bevel them and wrap them. That's when everybody else came. That's what I was talking about.
Okay.
That's when you remember. That's when everybody else came. Yeah, because we got the videos when he was helping us make the soap.
And that was when we got the name for South African lavender and all of that extra stuff too. It was a lot of things that came out of that. But we did have, just that was one of the greatest benefits that we had was the community aspect of people coming out and helping us. And at that time we didn't have any money, so people weren't coming and helping for money. They were just coming and helping us to achieve this goal. Not only that, but we documented a lot of our work, so just showing us getting up. We were going we were doing Facebook Live, Instagram Live, just showing us having like late night soap making sessions. So people were just staying up with us. And if you guys have been following us this whole time, then some of y'all might remember when we were doing that, waking up in the morning and going to sleep at night, just focused. Our whole world was focused on making that 4,000 to Cali. So this is what all the soaps look like right here. This is 4,000 soaps in totality. Soaps everywhere. Soaps over there. And then there's still some more soaps that have to be cut. But so we're wrapping up all of these right now. Not right now today, but it's going to take a couple of days to even get all of this done. So that's why I said it's going to take like a week to wrap all of these soaps here. And it's good that I just really wanted you guys to really see what it looks like at this point. Like we were really looking out and we just couldn't believe that there was this many soaps.
Going through all that production, and then after we produced all of those soaps, not only did we have to produce them, but we had to cut them, and I think that's part of production. But we had to bevel the soaps. Yes. That was something that we did.
That was shaving the soap.
Yeah.
So literally taking the soap and going against the beveler like this.
Y'all was using scissors back then.
Oh, actually, that's what we were using, scissors. No wonder why my thumbs was hurting.
Yes.
So yes, we were taking scissors like how you peel potatoes pretty much. That's what we were doing with literally all of those 4,000 bars. Each one of them had to get beveled because that was just a part of our process. It is no longer a part of our process.
No longer. So we had to bevel all 4,000 bars, and then we had to wrap all 4,000 bars.
I can get a beveler, but I just use my scissors right now because it's super cost effective. And beveling is just a matter of like shaving it. So I go through and I just bevel them all and just get them real shiny, wipe them down. I don't know if you can you might be able to see a difference. So this is one that's like been beveled. It's shinier. And then this is one that just hasn't been beveled yet, so it's a little bit rough around the edges. And yeah, so I just want it to be cleaner. Soap can be messy even though it's a cleansing thing. So boom.
We had to cut the labels with our little guillotine cutter. Then you had to wrap the soaps. And if you've ever seen us wrap a soap, then you know that is actually a very crazy process.
So now that I have these like little indent folds in there, I take them and I actually like just define it, make it more folded so that it fits on there properly. So if you don't do this, then the labels are gonna look all loose on the soaps. And again, I'm a Virgo and I don't like to see loose labels. I like to see tight labels that fit.
I think our best day of wrapping soaps, I never forget it. Taryn was like leading the charge because she was the fastest rapper.
Oh, were we racing and stuff?
I think we were racing. Okay. I think the number was like 900 bars in one day. I think we ended up wrapping like 900 bars of soap in one day. And like, that was just awful, man. Like when I say my thumbs were so destroyed after this whole thing, and then we had to like drive it down all the way to Cali. And I don't want to spoil it, but like just my thumbs were just destroyed. Like I don't know how you would feel.
Literally felt like like just joint pain. It was literally like joint pain because we were literally holding the scissors, and so my thumb was just, it felt like it had just been bent back. So literally first thing in the morning, that was what I was feeling. But not only that, my feet were hurting from standing up, just making the soap. My back was hurting.
The pressing the soap with the glue.
And cutting the soaps too.
Yeah,
all of that.
Too.
So it was just so much like tedious labor work that we were doing, and my whole body literally was feeling like super fatigued.
And you had charcoal in your nostrils. I remember one day you had dug up your nose.
Yes. Okay, y'all.
She had dug up her nose like with some tissue, and it was black. Like,
when I'm in the shower, I like to like clean my nose out too, and I was like digging in my nose, and it was black. I was like, wait a second. I was charcoal. I was scared.
The charcoal, like when you making soap, like charcoal kind of like disperses like into like dust or whatever. So like you could easily like get that in your nose or whatnot. But
and I was so sick of like making charcoal. Even to this day, making peppermint, over a series of times like gives me nausea just because it just gets all in your pores. So even during that time, we were in our house making soap out of our house.
Yeah.
It was on one side of our house in our room, and everything was on the other side. And so the house smelled straight up like peppermint. And
you could smell it outside.
Yes.
You could smell it outside.
It was just peppermint.
And another crazy thing that happened around this time was that I'll never forget while we were making soap one night. I remember I told you we were going through a lot of financial struggles around this time. I never forget we was making soap, and I started hearing this noise outside, and it was somebody to repo my car.
Yes.
Because we had to make a decision. We had to make a decision whether, all right, we got this money, are we going to pay this car note, or we going to pay for this material? And like, you already know what we decided to do. We paid for the material because I needed to pay. I think I was a couple months behind on my car payment. But it was happening while we were producing this order that would change the face of our whole company. They came and repoed my Toyota Corolla car that I had. And that's actually just something I just had to throw out there.
I don't even know how we didn't even let that get us like super down, I guess. I think we were just so focused on making this soap.
Yeah, we was focused on this opportunity. Like, that's the thing. Like, you might be going through, like, you're going through certain things, whatever, and you thinking it's just the worst, but you just got to stay focused on the goal, you know what I'm saying? That's what I think we were focused on, the task at hand.
Got some soaps wrapped up here. This is the finished product. This is what it looks like once it's good and wrapped. Yeah. Hey, what's up, guys? It's Taryn from Urban Eden. I'm making a video because we need you guys' help.
We got the order done.
We completed all of those soaps.
But now it's shipping.
We had a new dilemma.
Another dilemma, which is another obstacle, was how are we going to get this to Cali?
Now is the time where it's time to label and ship. And this is where we need your help, because I called today, and initially we budgeted that it would cost around $300-400 to ship.
Yeah, that's what we thought.
Yeah, because we get things shipped to the house all the time by the thousands of pounds of oils and things like that. So that's kind of what I kind of figured. Like I said, we never went through this before, so I didn't know what to expect. So 4,000 bars of soap equates to 1,000 pounds in weight. So 4,000 bars at 4 ounces each, it equates to 1,000 pounds. So this is 1,000 pounds of soap that we have to ship from here to Cali.
Because the crazy thing, because we were so young and because we were so green in this whole negotiating deals type thing, and we didn't negotiate nothing. We just accepted and just said yes.
We didn't even include shipping.
We did not include shipping in that $1 per bar thing.
No.
So we had to figure out a way how we're gonna get that there. And the thing is, I didn't know about third-party logistics at the time. Which is third-party logistics is like you could actually go through other people other than USPS and FedEx and UPS. You can go through other people, third parties, which they'll be way cheaper than them. Because USPS and them are like retail. You know what I'm saying? So all I was thinking about was that, dang, it's gonna take this many boxes shipping USPS. It was gonna cost like $1,200. You already know we was struggling. We didn't have $1,200 at all.
Actually, by the time we got done producing those soaps, we didn't have no money. We didn't have nothing.
So it was just like, what are we gonna do? So I never forget, we was at the farm one night, at the urban farm, and I said to Taryn, I was like, yo, like, what if we drove it there? What if we drove the soap? What if we packed it in a car and we drove it across the country? And I think, you know, like sometimes when people just be like, hey, what if we do this? People just be talking, and nothing really ever happens after that.
Well, no, you sounded like so serious about it though.
I mean, I did, but
and
like
I was like, let's do it.
I mean, I did sound serious, but like I said, like, you know how people be telling you ideas, like, what if we should do this?
Yeah, and we didn't have any money. Like, we didn't have no money to drive to California, so it was really kind of like a far-fetched idea.
It was. But literally, the very next day, I'll never forget it, we went to Jalal's paint job, and we was like, yo, let's shoot the video right now.
We ran into a bit of an obstacle. We already knew that this 4,000 soap bar order was going to be challenging, but we've reached the obstacle that we definitely have to ask for help with. We've already exhausted pretty much all of the deposit and some on just even producing the soap, and now we need help, you know, getting the soap to California. With it taking 6 days to ship, we don't have that time because we still need a week more to even wrap all of the soaps and get our labels. And then we only expected about 3 to 4 days of shipping. So we have to go to, our solution is to go to California. We really would like you guys to help us get to California. So we're trying to raise about $3,000. So that's why we're reaching out, making a GoFundMe to see if you guys can donate and help us reach our goal. So Quentin, the marketing director of it all, he was like, boom, we're gonna make a video real quick, and in the video you just gotta let them know what we need the money for, what we plan on doing with it, and just kind of giving them like some sort of kind of just a small sort of backstory on the 4,000 bars. But most of the people, like I said, have been keeping up with us through what we have been documenting. So the video was like short and sweet to the point. I think it was only like a minute long video. Yeah, I think it was probably like
it was short.
And sometimes I can get like a little weird in front of the camera, so just to even knock out that video like that was like, it wasn't perfect or anything. Like, we just shot it real quick and then he posted it. And then he had the idea of pretty much just going and messaging people. But it was people that we had already talked to previously on Facebook, like whoever we probably had Facebook Messenger chats with. But it just showed us how strong our community was, our networks, and we had other people sharing it for us. We were asking people to just share. Even if you can't donate, if you could just share and spread the word. So just based off of them spreading the word, we were just getting people that we didn't even know donating money. And so we were like literally watching it just go up and up and up. And this was literally over the course of like 2 to 3 days. We had just wanted to, it was 2 days. We just wanted to get $3,000. That was all we wanted.
Our last resort is to literally drive it to Cali. And I know it sounds probably crazy or whatnot, but this is the only thing that we could think that we could really do is to drive to Cali and drive from Atlanta to Cali in a matter of 2 days to get it there.
I think one of the biggest things I learned from that thing was like a GoFundMe, or if you asking people for money, whatever, like this is all, it's a marketing campaign. Like I think sometimes people do like GoFundMes and they ask people for money, they look at it as like, they just put it out and that's it. Like they don't do any extra work around it. You know what I'm saying?
They
like,
just shared a couple.
They just shared and be done with it. Where like me and you were very, very active with it. Like like you said, we DM'd hella people. We did videos about it. We actually shot another video, which was for YouTube, which is still on YouTube to this day.
And our goal was a week. Our goal was to get the money in a week.
Because we didn't have that much time.
We didn't. We
didn't have that much time. So the final stats of the GoFundMe, I think we asked for $3,000. We ended up getting $4,000 and we raised it all in 2 days. We rented
what year was that? 2017 Ford Expedition.
Expedition, yeah. We rented a big old Ford Expedition. Like I said, it was me, you, and Ishmael, so that we can drive. So we drove. So we pretty much got the money. We put all of those soaps in that trunk. We got a truck because we needed something big enough to be able to carry. Right. Essentially, that's 1,000 pounds of soap. That's when I realized that soap is heavy. Yeah. I didn't know that soap was going to be heavy. Mm-hmm. That because 4,000 bars, each one of our soaps is 4 ounces. When you do the math, that came out to be 1,000 pounds. So it was just like 1,000 pounds in a truck. Man, you should have seen the truck. The truck was leaning to the back. It was leaning in the back, and we had to drive across the country in that thing. I remember when we went through places where like gust of wind, and like the wind was like whipping it back and forth. We was riding through mountains and stuff. Like it was pretty scary, man. But I do know that car was smelling good as hell though. Like,
it was smelling really good.
Smelling super
and
good.
And it was good. Like it was me, Quentin, Ishmael. We had 3 people and it was a 36-hour drive. So really we didn't have time to like stop and go to sleep. Like it was pretty much like somebody always had to drive while somebody was sleeping or what have you. Like we literally got it there within that 36-hour time frame. Not only that, but 36 hours? How many days is that?
A day and a half.
This is a day and a half. So we had to get back to work too the next week because, as we told you, we were gardening teachers. So I think we probably left like. So
I remember the timeline. We left to go to Cali on a Wednesday afternoon.
After our gardening, we taught every Wednesday.
And then we got to Cali on a Friday early morning. Early morning, like 4 a.m.
And hung out there for like a day.
We hung out Friday. We hung out Saturday. And then we left on Sunday. And then we ended up getting there Tuesday. like super early, like late Tuesday morning.
Yep.
Like early Tuesday morning when we got back there.
And then back to work on Wednesday. So it was really like it was a mission. It was literally a mission.
It was a mission.
So we delivered the soaps. I'm excited. Like this is the point that I've been waiting on. I'm so thankful, y'all. Like this mission is freaking accomplished. Like this is crazy. I cannot believe that like I set out to make 4,000 soaps. That they ordered 4,000 soaps, that I overcame the challenge. Like I knew it was a challenge when I first accepted it, but the fact that like it's done now, that the soaps got made thanks to so many people who helped me actually make the soap, and it really, I could not have done this by myself. I just can't say that enough, that I couldn't have done this by myself. Like I had so much hope, even from my husband was like my biggest help, biggest supporter. Definitely helped make this happen. And so Quentin and Ishmael, we rode it out, 32-hour ride. We rode it out, got here. Shout out to Ishmael because I know he's good and tired. He helped us make soap, wrap soap, deliver the soap, and he's even picking up the boxes and taking it where it needs to go. So there's one left here. They're upstairs right now, just clearing off some more boxes, and they'll be back down here in a few.
The fact that we was able to experience all of that, was like the best experience of my life. It wasn't about the money. It wasn't about the fact that, because we didn't make any money in the deal. Like there was no money to be made. It was $1 per bar. But I think the experience of the whole thing, learning how to scale your growth, learning how to campaign, learning how to document your journey, learning how to like get people to get behind, what we were doing to donate to the cause. You know what I'm saying? Just negotiating the deal. Like we clearly didn't negotiate a deal, but just going through the whole entire process, I think it taught us so much about business, and I think it set the stage for where we are today. Because actually, if I showed you the numbers of it, like before we fulfilled that order, and after we fulfilled that order, like you could see the growth of our online sales just start to grow. Like right after that, like I think we were probably like doing like $2,000 a month before that order. And I think after that order, like probably like a month or two after that order, we started doing like $5,000-$6,000 a month, in sales after that. Of course, that's not like a crazy amount today where we are now, but at that time, you could see the growth of what happened and the benefit of it. And we started getting reviews on our website and our Facebook page, and we started seeing stuff like, hey, we found about you in the Onyx box. We found about you in the Onyx box. And then we started to see like, hey, like, this thing really was worth it, because we started seeing the traffic and the sales just started to just uptick,
There's Quentin and there's Ishmael there, and there's Shia. She's from Onyx Beauty Box. She's handling all the logistics of things. So, you gotta bring the men with you so the men can be men. That's the last box. Shia, were you expecting this? Like, did you expect it to be? I don't think I did either. When I said 4,000 soaps and I actually saw what it was, I was like, wow, this is like way more than I expected. My favorite thing, like you said, doing the marketing campaign for the GoFundMe to raise that money in a short amount of time was amazing. But to me, that just really was a reflection of the community that we had. So the community support, that was the biggest thing for me, truly, because I really feel like that was why it got done in the amount of time that it got done, was because people came and helped us. Like me and Quentin would have not been able to do that by ourselves whatsoever. And it was literally just us two in the business. And we didn't have a lot at all. So for people to just be able to come out and help us, from people that we didn't know, from our friends and family that we did did know, it was just like an overwhelming amount of love. Like, so that's why I was like, even though we even experienced like hard times such as that, like we just always knew that we couldn't give up because we just always had that support, like people that were just gonna help to continue to lift us up and make sure that we succeeded in the things that we did. And I think documenting the journey was just key to do as well. That's
super key.
Why people were cool with supporting us.
Yes, you got to do that, man. You got to, if you're going to ask anybody for money, like, I would highly recommend that you document what you're doing before you ask. Because if you're documenting it, people can see, you know what I'm saying? But also, driving across the country is another big thing for me. Being able to see America, being able to just experience those new things. I think we did a podcast after we came back, and we talked about how when you experience new things, it allows you to come up with new thoughts. And when you have new thoughts, like that's when the sauce comes out of you. That's when you can start to do some big things, because you're experiencing new things, and you got these new thoughts, and new things will happen to you. You got to shake up your mundaneness, you know what I'm saying, of your routine. And I think that was something that definitely shook up some stuff.
It definitely shook it up. And it was like a bucket list endeavor. And then we also, during that time, we were listening to Saba, who had the Bucket List album during that time. So that was like something that we played the whole way. So that's something, just having music along.
Every time I listen to that mixtape, I always think about Cali.
Just think about Cali.
And he talk about Cali in that whole thing,
So riding through the deserts and just experiencing that, like I said, that was all thanks to the community just for that opportunity. So that was just something that we took on, and we still reap the benefits from that to this day.
I mean, it's definitely like
out here, Long Beach.
But that's what I think of. Don't you think of Atlantic Station when you come here, Blue?
I'm thankful and grateful to be able to just talk about this moment, because at the time when we was going through it, I didn't think it was ever going to end. I didn't know what was going to happen, but the fact that we was able to just make it through that, I hope that you guys can, if you're going through anything right now, if you have any big projects or some endeavors in front of you, or if you're going through your entrepreneurial journey and you feel like giving up, I hope you can watch this video, hear this story, and then inspire you to just keep on going, not give up, take the risk, take risks. You know what I'm saying? Like, you never know where it would end up, Don't take things just because of money. Like, do things for the love. Like, do things to better yourself. Do things to get the experience. You know what I'm saying? Because if we would have just been like, hey, this ain't enough money, we ain't gonna take this, who knows where we would be? We probably wouldn't have grown after that. But the fact that we took that deal, and that deal allowed us to, expand production, you know what I'm saying, campaign to get people to know about us even more.
Make good connections, because even from that connection, we were able to meet the people that worked there, just going to see them face to face, and them knowing that we had drove there. And then I think like a couple of years later, one of the people that we were connected with, we ended up doing like another event where we were featured in their sample bags for like an HBO event.
HBO special.
So just pretty much making those connections, just actually going the extra mile.
Yep.
That's pretty much what it seemed like we ended up doing. Like, we had to go the extra mile, literally, to get the job done. And then, it's just, we reaped the benefits from it. And and to be truthful and be as transparent as possible, it had its ups and downs. Like, it was some things that we wish we would have done differently, and it was literally like a kind of like an obstacle. It was like a blessing and a curse at the same time. I guess you can put it that way.
It was definitely a blessing. It was definitely a good learning experience. But again, just take the risk, y'all. Like, just jump out there, go for it. You never know what'll happen. You know what I'm saying? Like, we didn't know what was gonna happen, but it turned out to be the better. So I think that's it. 4,000 bars.
4,000 to Cali.